Now we've got Liberal MP, the member for Hume, Angus Taylor. There's a lot on the international front this morning. The Prime Minister's now on his way to Indonesia. In your view, what's at stake in these talks today?
Well, there's always a lot at stake when we talk with Indonesia. I mean, it's an incredibly important trade partner for us. Huge amount of wheat that goes up there, live exports, and that's important for the future of Australia. There is a very big population up there. They're getting wealthier at a rapid pace. These are big markets for us and big opportunities, and we've got to get this relationship right.
What do you say to suggestions from Richard Marles this morning that the government's exploiting the difficulties in the relationship to push ahead, or has done in recent months, to push ahead with the boat turnbacks, and that has essentially exacerbated the problems that were there?
Look, with neighbours, you're always going to have aspects of your relationship that are difficult, and we've certainly had that. But I think it's a very strong relationship, and it's one that will continue to strengthen over the coming years, and the Prime Minister knows that. He's there to make sure that it does. I don't think the boats is an issue that I think is resolving itself now. We've done a huge amount of work, as you know, and it's been a very successful policy. Ultimately, I think our policy will be good for Indonesia because there will be less people wanting to come down to Indonesia to get to Australia. So there's much in this that's positive. It's a good time for us now to strengthen that relationship.
And with President Yudhoyono, he wraps up his 10 years in office later this year. How important is it for Australia, for the government, to secure a deal with SBY? Because the next president, well, is an unknown quantity. We don't know who it's going to be, and they're certainly unlikely to be as friendly to Australia as the current president.
Well, we don't know. I mean, the world's an uncertain place and lots of things can happen. What we do know is that Indonesia has a huge economic interest in having a strong relationship with Australia. I mean, they need what we have. They need our wheat. They need our minerals. They also need many other things that we supply. So I'm confident that with the right moves and the right discussions, we will continue to strengthen that relationship regardless of what happens beyond SBY.
What about the United States now and the different worldview as articulated by Jason Clare just a little while ago on this program between the President and the Prime Minister, and on the issue of climate change particularly? The President this week announced a significant centrepiece of his climate change strategy, a major reduction in their power supply emissions. What do you say to suggestions that the direct action plan doesn't stack up and that it's simply a fig leaf, and that this meeting will be an awkward one?
Well, look, we have a bilateral commitment to a 5% reduction target. Both sides of the House are committed to that, and we're confident that direct action will deliver. I'm very confident that direct action will deliver. Obama is in a lucky situation in many ways. He has cheap gas going through the US, and that means he can reduce carbon emissions and achieve fairly aggressive targets without doing very much. That is good for the US. We have a commitment, which is a strong commitment, and it's one that both sides of the House are committed to, and I'm confident direct action will get there. I heard in your interview with Jason you say that direct action doesn't have support from outsiders. Look, this is one of the great myths. The United Nations has a direct action program called the Clean Development Mechanism for developing countries. It has been a success, it has worked, and it's very much in line with what we're doing with direct action. And in the relations between the two men, one a Democrat, the other a Liberal, and different world views. Well, how will that go? You say different world views. Our world view is very similar to the United States world views in so many ways. I think we have an enormous amount in common, and I'm sure that the trip will be a success. Angus Taylor, appreciate it. It's a pleasure. That's all for AIM Agenda. Thank you for your